Hello, a pleasant and blessed day to all of you. Another day, another learning. Before we start, I want to introduce myself. I am Jason Umali, a hospitality management student from BSHM 1102. Being a hospitality management student, I have observed that in the hospitality industry, soon to be my industry, there's the usual suspect in terms of workplace hazard and risk. These hazards are found in most hospitality venues, including hotels. They basically need to be addressed to ensure we reduce the risk of injury to employees and particular patrons and guests, with public liability issues in mind. With that, I created this video to show and tackle about the eliminating of risk or hazard for the hospitality industry. To start with, let's have a short background of what is hazard and what is risk. How are they differ from each other? I will share also some examples and scenarios showing the cause and effect of ignorance. Eliminating risk or hazard for the hospitality industry. We can differentiate the risk and the hazard. The hazard refers to a source of potential harm or danger, and the risk refers to a possibility that harm or injury might occur when exposed to a hazard. So, it is important to know what is hazard and risk. So, what is hazard? A hazard is something that can cause harm. Example, electricity, chemicals, working of a ladder, noise, a keyboard, a bill at work, stress, and etc. And what is risk? A risk is the chance, high or low, that any hazard will actually cause somebody harm. For example, is the fall. Because they are inherently hazardous, people have been falling on them, getting hurt or even killed in the process. Because a stairway accident can cause severe injury and even death. Safety first. Safety is very important to working environments. So, what is safety first? Safety is a state in which hazards and conditions leading to physical, psychological, or material harm are controlled in order to preserve the health and well-being of individuals and the community. Of course, safety is the most important issue within the hospitality industry. Cross-contamination. Switch out your cutting boards. One common source of cross-contamination is between raw meat and fresh produce. Raw meat is sweetened with bacteria, therefore it's dangerous to use the same cutting board for raw meat as you do for fruits and vegetables. Make sure you use a different cutting board for produce as you do for raw meat, and clean your cutting boards well in addition to switching them out after each use. Gloves are used very often in the food industry, especially when workers are preparing food. Unfortunately, some people don't understand how to properly use gloves. Use these key points to help remind your food workers that gloves are an important step in serving safe food. Employees must wash hands before returning to work. Hand washing is very important to remember, because keeping hands clean is one of the most important steps we can take to avoid getting sick and spreading germs to others. The proper hand washing techniques. Step 1. We can wet your hands using clean running water when available. Step 2. Soap. Apply enough soap to cover all surfaces of your hands and wrists. Step 3. Scrub hands together for at least 20 seconds. Make sure to scrub all surfaces of your hands, fingertips, fingernails, and wrists. Step 4. Rinse hands under clean running water. And last, dry your hands and wrists with a clean towel or let them air dry. Be aware of slips, trips, and falls. In order to manage workplace health and safety and help prevent accident and sickness absence, it's important to to identify, monitor, and reduce the risks associated with workplace hazard. How to prevent slips, trips, and falls. To prevent slips, trips, and falls, you need to wear proper protective footwear with good treads. Take extra care walking on stairs or uneven surfaces. And keep floors clean and dry, walkways clutter-free, and put warning signs on slippery surfaces. Make sure lighting is bright enough to see properly. Don't take shortcuts. Cover a stairway, openings, open holes, or holes in the floor, have guardrails, and stay behind them. Risk management in the hospitality industry. The staff and employees of a hotel are looking to implement new safety measures. The employee was trapped in a walk-in freezer at the hotel, prompting calls from other workers for enhanced safety measures to prevent another tragedy. It's an example, but it's one of many risks faced by businesses operating in the hospitality industry, a service profession where the business is all about people and customer service. An effective risk management strategy is essential for members of the hospitality industry. Risk management helps employees to identify, analyze, assess, and avoid or mitigate risks. And financial upset, legal ramifications, accidents, natural disasters, data, or cybersecurity breaches. For those in the hospitality industry, including hotels, resorts, and casino, among other risk challenges can include everything from guests who fall sick due to foodborne bacteria to cyber threats. Let's examine a few of the more common types of risks that hospitality providers are faced with: food safety, foodborne illness like Salmonella or E. coli, To mitigate the risk, proper food handling and sanitation training should be provided for all employees, as well as instruction on careful food sourcing procedures. In the restaurant business, a risk might include sustaining a burn from a hot dish. So, these are the ways to control and eliminate hazards and risks. Number 1 is identify and analyze health and safety hazards. It is important to identify all the possible hazards that we use in the hotel, restaurant, or any place. Number 2 is personal protective equipment. This is the least effective and least desirable method of protecting workers and is considered as the last line of defense against hazard. So, if the PPE is damaged or fails, the worker will be exposed to the hazard. Number 3, workers' competency in training. to enhance the skills and knowledge of the employees. It is important in hospitality industry because they ensure that the organization met their set goals without any hindrance. Number 4 is isolate the hazard from people. This involves physically separating the source of harm from people by distance or using barriers. For example, introducing a strict work area using guardrails around exposed edge and holes in the floors. And another example, storing chemicals in a fume cabinet. Number 5 is follow the policy in the workplace. The employees need to follow the rules and policies while working because it is important to know the policies and procedure provide employees with a clear understanding of what is expected of them. Policies and procedure provide a fair, predictable, and consistent approach to managing the workplace and workplace issues. And also, employees must follow all the policy posted in each designated places. And number 6 is emergency response planning. It's designated to help and address various emergency situations that could occur within their organization. Emergency response planning, it is important in a workplace because it's the course of action a hotel, restaurants, or resorts to take in order to minimize the effects of incidents. Conclusion: to conclude, there is no escape. Every day, we are exposed to hazards and risks. Some hazards may be obvious, like boiling the kettle for your morning wake-up coffee or driving to work, while others are often not as visible or can be overlooked. Even with simple actions, we may encounter risks and hazards in our daily life. So, always remember in ourselves, our safety must be sought. By our own right hand, it must be wrought. Before I end this video, I want to leave you a quote applying risk and hazard to our life. Remember, risk must be taken because the greatest hazard in life is to risk nothing. That's all, and have a great day. Keep safe. God bless.